Hello guys, welcome back. I am Amoga. What's going on? Today let us see about the usage of an if then condition in an assembly in an LPC 1768. So you are knowing this if then mean to say as same as in C you are having an if and else condition in an C. So in order to have an both the checking the condition in the same manner we do have in an assembly as well. So the name of that checking condition is if and then. So the one difference between an looping and an if then or an if else is in an looping till the condition is going to be get false, the conditions which have been the instructions which have been written inside the looping is going to be get executed. So whereas in an if else or if then, if the condition is true, it is going to execute only once. So this is the major difference between an if then and an for loop. So for loop is going to be executed till the condition is going to be get true. So if then, if the condition is true, so it is going to enter some true conditions and it is going to be executed for once. If the condition is false, it is going to enter the false condition, execute that respective instruction for only one time. So this is one time execution and this for us is going to be executed forever. So before going into an if then executions in an assembly, so you can see this some of the rules. So before if then condition instruction, you need to have at least one compare instruction or you need to update any of the flags. So before writing any of the if then, preferably you can go for an compare instruction. This is the one of the option, or you are going to change the flags. So this flags will be as good as your PSR flags. So program status word flags. So these flags should be get varied either by compare instruction or any sorts of an flag variation instruction. So this is must and should. So if you are writing if and then, you need to have one compare instruction before it, compare instruction or any of the flag variation instruction. And the next rule is, so how many true conditions should be executed or told to an assembler well in advance by specifying the number of T's. So for example, if you are having two instructions to execute, if the condition is going to be get true, you need to tell the assembler that you are having a two instruction. So this is going to be tell to the compiler in this format. So I stands for if, then T stands for then. So if you are executing two instructions of true statements, so this number of T should be 2, and you can tell the compiler that you are having another condition is else condition. So if you are having 3 true execution, you should tell the compiler, assembler that you are having 3 true instruction and it should be telling and it should be specified by the number of T's. So this is number of T's. And next one, only 3 true conditions can be executed. So you are having some restrictions in an LPC 1768. So if you can execute only 3 true instruction. So this is the conditions here: I T E E E E, I T T T E. So this is the syntax, and you can write the any of the conditions. You can see the sum of the conditions which have been listed here. So this is equals to first condition, not equal to, carry, set or unsigned, higher or same. So here you can see which are all the flags are going to be get set. So first one is equal, which have been provided by the symbol EQ, and by doing this one Z is going to be get setted. So NE stands for not equal, so Z is going to be get clear. CS or HS, carry, set or unsigned, higher or same. So unsigned, higher. So you can use these kinds of instructions while checking the number is higher than this or not. So here C flag is going to be get set at carry flag. So carry clear or unsigned lower, minus or negative number, so plus or positive sign, overflow, no overflow, HI, unsigned higher, unsigned lower. So these are all the conditions for an branching which have been provided in an LPC 1768. So this is the condition I have been chosen. So this is a syntax. So you can tell the assembler that this is an if then, and this T tells the assembler that how many true instructions are going to be get present, and here you are having an conditions. So these are all the conditions you can just opt with. So any of the conditions you can just take and you can just provide the conditions based on your applications. So in order to make the concept clear, I have been came up with some of the simple program. Here I am having two resistor R5 and R1. So my condition here is I am checking whether R5 is not equal to R1. So if this condition is going to be get true, perform an addition. So make an addition R1, content of R1 plus 5 and store the result in R5. And next one is R6. So R6 plus R1 plus R0. So the content of R6, R1, R0 is going to be get added and the result is going to be get stored in R6. And later another instruction is R6 is equal to R6 minus R1 minus R0. So here I am having 3 true statement and 2 else statement. If this condition is going to be get false, I am need to executing R8 is equal to R1 plus R0, R3 is equal to R1 plus R0. So in an assembly, so according to an syntax, so here I am having 3 instruction, 3 true instruction. If I am having 3 true instruction, I need to tell the assembler by its number of T's. So 3, 2 true instruction and else conditions. So you can jump for a programming here. So this is an structure of your assembly, area space program name. So this is a program name, you can give anything. So next one is code. So you are writing an instruction, you are telling the assembler that you are writing an instruction. Entry, export start, and this is the start of your coding part. So move R0 is equal to 5, move R1 is equal to 2. You are moving an immediate data. You are moving an immediate data to an resistor or not. You are moving an immediate data, that is 2 to an resistor R1. So as I told you in an assembler, in a very first statement, before if and then condition, you need to have one compare instruction. So you are comparing the content of R0 and R1. So R0 and R1. So next ITTTENE. So here I am having 3 true statements and 2 else statements. So in an else part you can just tell the E itself. So next one is condition. So here my condition is, so here I am checking not equal. So for a not equal, so this is my condition. So these are all the flags. So this is a symbol we have been using in an assembly. So this is what I have been done here, ITTTENE. So number of T stays that we are having 3 true part, or an if the condition is true, execute these 3 instruction. If the condition is false, execute other 2 instruction. So in an C we were having flower brackets. Inside the brackets, what are all the conditions are being written, what are all instructions written for if condition you are going to be executed. If this if condition is going to be get false, you are going for an else. So what are the instructions which have been written inside the flower brackets, you are going to execute that instruction. But in an assembly, we are not having this provision. in order to make that parenthesis structure, here we are having an condition writing. So if you are checking an not equal to, if that condition is not equal to, you need to perform this 3 instruction. Can you observe here? So not equal, not equal, not equal. So you are checking whether the content of R0 and R1 are equal or not. If it is not equal to, these are the 3 instructions. So these are all the true instructions. So these are all the true instructions what you have been executed here. So these are all the three true instruction. R5 is equal to R1 plus 5. So R5 is equal to R1 plus 5. You are performing add and you are updating the flags, and this is going to be executed if the condition is satisfied. If R0 and R1 are not equal to, you are executing this 3 instruction. So the first instruction is R5 is equal to R1 plus R1 plus immediate value 5. So this is the condition I have been written, addition, add R5, you are going to store the result in R5. So what you are adding? The content of R1 plus with an immediate value. So when this execution is going to happen, if this condition is not equal to, so if this condition is true, if the condition is true, execute this 3 instruction. In order to understand the assembler, if the condition is true, which are all the instructions it should be executed is going to be get conveyed by writing this condition not equal, not equal, not equal. So if the condition is false, if the condition is false, you are going to execute 2 instructions which have been provided here. So in order to tell the compiler, so you need to write the inverse condition of this not equal to. So for this program I have been taken a condition as not equal to. So the inverse of it is equal. So if your condition is greater than or equal to, so inverse of that condition is less than or equal to. So these are all the some of the things you need to get remember with. So if this condition is false, you need to execute this 2 instruction. So how this is going to be conveyed to the assembler is through this respective conditional flags. So here it is not equal to. If the condition is true, you need to execute this 3 instruction. If that condition is going to be get false, you need to tell the compiler that, assembler that which are all the inverse condition of this. So not equal to is inverse of not equal to is equal to. So you are going to tell the assembler that equals to. So inverse of this. So equals to R0 is equal to R1 plus R0, R3 is equal to R1 plus 9. So this is the condition which have been executed here. So the simple C program is going to be get converted into an assembly. So one thing is, before if and then you need to have one compare and another one is condition. If the condition is true, write the same conditions here and write the instruction. If the condition is false, you need to write the inverse of this. So inverse of that condition and write the instruction. So this is what the if and then which is going to happen in an assembly. So rest one is I have been taken an result are going to be get stored in an RESEQ which have been declared in an data region. So in a previous video I have been told about how to declare a variable inside the data region and pushing the result to that data regions. So this is the same thing. I have been declared an area, G2 is my program name and the data. Please take care that this file name and this file name should be different, G1, G2. So this should be different. If you are having same file name, you are going to generate an error. So inside an data region, you are having 2 variables, result if the conditions are equal, result is going to be get stored if the conditions are not equal to, and it is being declared and data variables, sorry, data directives define constant data. Define constant data. You can refer my videos for understanding the various lists of an data directives which have been available in assembly. So this is what I have been declared here, and I have been loaded that to an register R10. So this address is going to loaded in R10, R11, and I am storing the result of R6. So result of not equal to an R10. Oh, okay, I can change here. So not equal to is going to be stored in R11. So equal to conditions are going to be stored in R10. So store R6 comma R11. So the content of R11 is going to hold the address of result not equal to. So R10 is going to hold the address of result equal to. So this is a variables here. So I have been storing the content of R6. It is not equal to an R11. So R11 is going to hold the address of result not equal. So next I am having an multiple data. So this instruction is storing the multiple data to the stack memory. So this is the another instruction, stmia. So store is going to store only the one data from registers to an memory. Here I am storing the multiple datas R3 content and R8 content to the address pointed by R10. So address pointed by R10 is result equal to. So you can just compile this. You are having 0 errors. So you can debug this. So you can go for a single step execution. So it is coming for R0 is going to hold 5. R1 is going to hold 2. So compare R0 and R1. So here my condition is going to be get not equals to. So these three instructions are going to be get executed. So you can go for this. So here, so after executing this, these content are not equal to, hence it is going for executing this instruction. So R5 content was 0 initially, now it has been changed. So R6, so it has been changed, so not equal to again. So here R8 and R3 should not change because the condition is going to execute only these three instructions. So R8 and R3 should be 0 after executing these lines. So you can see here. So it is 0. So this if and then is successful now. So now you are loading the content of R equal to R10. So the content is 100. You have been loaded to a memory window. So initially the memory window of this 1000 is 0. So loaded the R11 with an address content of result not equal to. So now you are going to store the content of R6 to R11. So R6 content is FFFFFD to R11. So R11 is 10004. So this is 1000. So here will be an 1004 content. So R6 is FD, sorry, FFFFFD. So this FD is here, and rest are FFFFF. So this is R6 content is going to be stored in an R11. So R10 is going to be pointed for 1000. So now you are having nothing in an R8 and R3. So that 0 is going to be get overwritten. So in order to avoid the overwriting of an instruction, you can just change this address locations. So you can see for an equal to condition. So now you can see this step by step. It is going to check this one. So here it is false now. Here both the content of R0 and R1 are equal. So the content of R5 and R6 should remains 0 after executing this instruction. See here 0 here. So 0. So now it is going to execute only this one. So initially it was 0. As the condition is true, it is going to execute only these two instruction because we have been provided the condition EQ as the inverse of this one EQ. So this condition is false, it is executing the else part. So 0A and E. So this should be stored into your memory pointed by R11. So here 0A 0E. So this is all about how to execute an if and then in an assembly. So these are all the main points. I can leave this in a description. So before if then you need to have one compare instruction or one flag changing instruction. So you can write only 3 true execution instruction. If in an LPC 1768 it is allowed to write only 3 true instructions. So this is what I have been written. You can see this. If I am going to write another T here, another T and another instruction, it is going to generate an error. Not equal R7 comma R7 with the content 2. So I have been written 4 then, but the Cortex supports only 3 true conditions. If I am going to execute this, so it is going to say an error. So if I am going to remove this 1T and then 1 execution, now it is able to execute this. So this is all about how to make an if then. Please do remember the rules here. This is very simple. I can leave this in a description. So thanks for watching this video. Please do subscribe. Keep subscribing, keep supporting. Thanks for watching this video.